And I am back here on the channel. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. YouTube actually had some technical difficulties today, and I was trying to figure out what was going on. It was some mad, crazy streaming issues. So anyone who might be broadcasting, Google Hangouts was being a bit of a tool, a bit of a tool, one might say. So, anyways, welcome. This is the fourth episode of Let's Talk, and tonight I have some really good buddies of mine who have been trolling me, so I decided to give them a spot on my show, so they would stop bugging me. So the first person that I would like to introduce that I see in order, let's go to the Geek into the Skies. Go ahead and say something.
Oh my lord! It's doing it to him.
Oh. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is the issue that we have been having all night. I don't know if anyone else has been having this issue, but we have not had the Hangouts being able to connect with each other. So either I get one person or another. So here's what we are going to do. Prime Geek, you plug yourself. Geek in the Skies, try to jump out and then jump back in and see if you can't.
Wait, you honestly couldn't hear him because I just heard him.
You heard him? Is he coming through on the YouTube? Anyone in the YouTube chat?
Oh my god, he can't hear you now, Geek. What the?
What?
Anyone in the YouTube chat? If you can hear Geek in the Skies, just let me know. This is like the most hilarious thing ever.
Dude, you're gonna have to get on your own mobile phone or something here and go to your own video just to listen to what Geek is saying to you.
Yeah, he was playing. Thank you, Mary. Oh my god. This is what you guys get on my channel. This is gonna be the most entertainment live stream ever because I can only hear Prime in my ear right now, and I can't hear Geek in the Skies. So yeah. And you know what? I'm just going to roll with this because we've been having this issue before I started. I've literally been trying to wrestle with this for a half hour.
Can you hear me now?
I thought we figured it out.
No, he still can't.
Oh, dude, this is ridiculous.
No. This is called censorship of YouTubers right here.
They knew what I was going to talk about tonight, and that's what's going on here. They knew that we had some good subjects for you people, and now Disney has done one step further. They decided that they were going to annoy me to death. They're not going to out and out get rid of the channel. They're just going to annoy me. And my inability to be able to hear anything. So
let's see something here.
So I'm gonna have to play my phone in the background so that I can hear what poor Geek is saying. So go ahead, Geek in the Skies. I don't know if you plugged yourself the first time, but go ahead.
No, I did not. But the Geek in Disguise here. I don't know if y'all can hear me. But
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, the Geek in Disguise. Check my channel out. Movie news, reviews, reactions, you know, the all around shenanigans and game streams. Bye, Mary. I hear myself echoing in somebody's headset.
Yeah, that's Lee.
So do you think it's like, since he only has a one-sided headset, it's like dedicated?
Yeah, that would probably be me.
No, he unplugged his headset, and when he did, it still was just like when we were in the last chat. It was just you talking, and he couldn't hear me. So I'm not sure what the heck's going on. But if this is going on YouTube, and today's a Tuesday night, so good luck with that stuff, Jeff and Jeremy and EBS.
I don't even know.
Okay, so here is how we are going to do this tonight. I'm still going to run this like a regular debate for everyone who doesn't know. I am going to bring up some topics, some talking points. Each of these gentlemen are going to have a turn to go. I won't be able to understand what Geek in Disguise is saying, so Prime Geek will be my translator for tonight. We'll just try not to talk over each other, because even if Geek in Disguise has a good point and interrupts me, I can't hear him anyway. So this is going to be a very interesting discussion, because I win.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, tonight, gentlemen, the topics of discussion, the great topics
this is going to be very interesting
for all of you folks, is we have the chat. Of course,
Hey.
you know I had to cover Star
Prime.
Wars Celebration.
Yep.
Everyone by now who knows
Suggest to
me
him that
should
he
know what I'm
exit out
excited
and come
about.
back.
I'm excited about Clone Wars, so we're going to get into that.
He can't do that.
Oh, he
And,
can't? He's leading it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know, Dave Filoni and all of that, and how we feel about him returning. We're going to get into the Mandalorians and what you guys think about that series coming out. We're going to, of course, touch on everyone's favorite trailer, the new Raylo premiere.
What?
We're going to talk about Raylo and where we think they're going, as the kids say. God, because it was a shipping panel.
This is the most. You got a prime thing to talk about at night, and the only one person I know who's probably going to have the most to say about it is probably going to be Geek.
Which is okay, because when he starts talking, I'll put my phone on.
Oh, okay. So I don't have to do a translate charade of word for word. Thank God.
No. I'll put my phone on and I'll play it through, and then if I don't like what he's saying, I'll just mute my phone.
Oh. Okay.
And last but not least, fellas,
Sorry, I
this
had
could be a
something in my
long
eye.
debate, because we are going to get into my favorite person in the whole world, the most wonderful, accomplished woman actress in the world, Brie the Awesome Larson. And I was going to do several videos on her, but I decided to save it for this panel so we can just talk about all of the bullshit that's been going on with her. So
I thought we were going to talk about Cher's daughter. Okay.
Oh no.
Elvis?
I ain't gonna get into that. Jesus Christ.
I thought she was accomplished.
Oh my God, I'm not even. No, we're not gonna. That's a debate for another
Son
panel.
Bono.
So here's what we are going to do. Let us start with the first topic of discussion. Let us talk about what I'm making the first topic, Clone Wars.
I thought we were okay. We went from Brie Larson to Clone Wars. This is
Lee doesn't need
this
to
is
hear
gonna
me.
be this is gonna be an interesting Let's Talk. I just fit her in there. I don't even know really continuity wise where she goes in this whole debate, because the first half is Star Wars, the next is Brie, and then we're gonna finish up with what we feel about each of those. And that's kind of my order.
I only got one thing to say about Brie Larson. Her mother could have swallowed her. Just saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's supreme sentient sperm would have still.
All right, so
trachea down to the stomach into
this is
the
going to be
ovaries.
the lowest watch Let's Talk ever. Not for technical difficulties, but also just because.
Look, I'm gonna do a shameless plug, y'all.
A little bit. We might get a little bit raw here. So here's what I'm gonna do so that I can hear everyone at the same time. I'm going to start down the line, and I'm going to start with Geek and then turn up my phone so I can actually hear what he's saying in Disguise. And then I'll go to Prime, and we'll try to go down the line. Geek in Disguise, how do you feel about the Clone Wars?
What, that new live-action Clone Wars led by Brie Larson playing the show? That's what I heard, right? honestly, Lee, I'm gonna be completely honest. I can't speak on Clone Wars because I've never seen it. So you're gonna have to pass this off to Prime for right now. I can't speak on what I don't know about.
All right, buddy. Fair enough. So I probably have a good delay in that because my phone is delayed with the conversation. So this is going to be the most interesting Let's Talk, people. Just bear in mind, YouTube and the algorithm is messing with me. So you're going to hear some wacky stuff on the stream tonight. This is going to be a really fun one. So Prime, buddy.
Yes.
You know about Clone Wars and all that, and I know you have your feelings, but I mean, Dave Filoni is a good writer. He's done some solid stuff. He's done some solid stuff in that universe.
And he's also done some bad stuff in that universe.
Okay, but let's be fair though, not Rian Johnson level bad.
You mean dismantling the whole entire premise of the Mandalorian heritage that was worked up for 10 years? Yeah, okay. Sure. We'll go with that.
This is why I got you on, because I knew this would be a good debate amongst us.
I actually found Karen Travis's contact information, and I'm going to be emailing her this week to see if I can actually get her to answer some questions for me about this whole deal with what happened with the Filoni thing during the transition from the old Clone Wars EU to Filoni's EU. Because I'm curious what happened during the whole Lucasfilm charade.
There was some interesting stuff behind the scenes, though. Even when Lucas was manning the helm, I felt like even in the prequels, it felt as if there was a lot of shifts as far as power structure goes, and I believe it was described best where he had a lot of yes men, but no one reining him in, and saying, George, maybe you shouldn't do that.
Well, here's the thing that I know of, okay? Due to my visual guide to the EU by, I can't even read from here, but it's Wright or something, okay? I always go back to it every time I go to the EU in its entirety. There's an excerpt quoted from George Lucas in 2005 that they had already started production with the Clone Wars back then. They had already started putting it into a thing with Filoni in 2005. They didn't finalize it and let everybody know what it was until like 2007. So during that time, you have to understand with the Clone Wars that I talk about, that the one that I have on my shirt that says "Rest in Peace." That was the 2002 version from 2008 because.
Are you talking about the micro series?
I'm talking about the micro series in general, to the comic books, the games, that basically all of LucasArts and Lucasfilm were basically trying to put together before the release of Revenge of the Sith, because they wanted to fill a time gap of 2 years of marketing specifically. If you're going to have to wait 2 years for a movie, you want to have your fans keep coming back for more and learning about what happened between two movies. And regardless of what people say about Attack of the Clones, because yes, I know it is a dreadful movie to get through when you have the love scene stuff, but a lot of people really like the whole clone aspect, and they wanted to know what was the Clone Wars after. You see those ships, those Acclaminator ships start flying off in the distance, and you're like, oh shit, so where's the war that we wanted to see?
To be fair, though, I felt like the series did build on a lot of different battles. We got a lot of good character growth there, though. I mean, it did essentially do what it was intended to do, right? Filled in that gap that, as you mentioned, there was a huge gap between Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith. And that show did in essence fill in a pretty big gap that there would have been.
Yes, but considering the fact that the EU and even new Star Wars canon is in a timeline congruent to a human year, the Clone Wars only lasted 3 years. You know, like our Earth rotation of 365 days. So
this is why I wanted to have you on, because we've always had a lively debate because we have different feelings about the Clone Wars. But can we agree? Okay, I want to run something past you because I did a video on B-level Star Wars. You know, that douchebag who's always talking stuff about the Phantom Menace. So he did a video about how he was comparing, Dave Filoni to Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy. Now, would you put, even with your feelings about, preserving certain timelines and things, would you put him on that level?
What I've told Stig, yeah.
But
because one, you have to understand, you have a person who I never knew who Dave Filoni was at all. You know, I knew who Leland Chi was. He was the continuity supervisor at Lucasfilm. You know, he'd always go into the StarWars.com sections at the Holocron forums, and he'd be able to answer any continuity thing about what happened within Star Wars. You know, he was the original Pablo Hidalgo before Pablo fucking Hidalgo. Okay? So when you have Leland Chi and then you start having Filoni start messing with the continuity that Leland Chi's supposed to know everything about, and people started asking, like, wait, how does this TV show fit in with this book over here and this show over here, and why is this happening here but that didn't happen there? Leland Chi was very I don't know. Let's just say back then, because he didn't have an answer for any of this stuff. And still to this day, we still don't have an answer to where the Clone Wars TV show Filoni made fits into the old EU canon, which is considered Legends now. But Disney wants to sit here and say, like, the TCW fits in with the old canon stuff of Legends. But it didn't. And I'm like, okay, there's just so many things wrong with it. And that's the whole point. When you ask me, do I put Filoni in that same category? I'm like, yes, because I feel like the man was, I don't know how to specifically say this, but
I can't, because of the fact that I watch Clone Wars from not really giving a rip about the that part of it. I mean, I got deep into it, but I actually, when I watch a show or an anime or anything else, I look like structure-wise, I contain that to its own kind of story instead of trying to fit it anywhere. And if you just look from a narrative perspective, I think that it has great character developments and growth amongst the different characters, especially my all-time favorite, my girl, Ahsoka. I love Ahsoka. And
you're probably going to hate me because I do not like Ahsoka at all.
I figured you wouldn't. I had a feeling you wouldn't, but I love Ahsoka. She was one of my favorite characters. I know that in the lore, she's like nowhere in there. She feels like a completely just created character for that show.
She was shoehorned in. Because
but she was grown very organically. She was whiny and bugged me at first, but kind of really grew on me. And there was character development there. I mean, you can't say that there wasn't. Literally watch that character grow up. And that is, for me, good structural writing.
Yes, character writing, okay, sure. Visual speculatory things in the show, sure. But when it comes down to Star Wars, for me, it has to be fit into a known universe.
But see, I could give you the high ground. Now we're going Star Wars. I can give you the high ground for the debate, Prime, because you have come at me with very factual stuff. We've had many conversations. and you have very good reasons to feel how you feel. You and me have had back and forth about the different other stuff in the extended universe, like the books and stuff, and I can actually see where your gripes come in. How do you feel about, because I wanted to bring this up, how do you feel about this EU thing that's been out, and then saying different things about our feelings as far as it goes? I don't know if you've seen this, like, B-level Star Wars guy and all the nonsense he's put out. So,
specifically,
yes.
I don't think I've seen anything like that. Can you be a little bit more? Can you give me a little bit of info on this, because this is.
This is new to you. So there is a guy that's called B-level Star Wars something or rather, and he's put out videos. He's attacked the Phantom Menace and us on the collective here as well, and he is supposedly a fan of the extended universe, although his arguments have no real relevant points like you do.
You mean validity?
Yeah, well, like, everything he says, it doesn't sound like he really knows what side he falls on.
That's probably because he's a Wikipedia warrior, man. Like, or I should say Wikipedia, because that's what it was called originally. But yeah, I mean, being a Star Wars fan nowadays, people always tell me, like, that same stasis about, like, being a millennial. It's like, did you grow up with it? And to me, when I think about the Clone Wars, I'm like, I grew up with it. So I grew up with, with the release of the original comics, the microseries, everything that came out. And then when you have people like, I guess, this person, I don't know how old he is or anything like that, but for someone who, like, maybe dwelled into Star Wars at maybe an early age, when I was already in my 20s, and then wants to get into it when they're, like, now starting to become 20, and then they want to tell me, like, this happened, that happened. It's like, well, do you have the information? Because anybody can go on fucking Wikipedia and edit shit to fit their own narrative. In example, Potato Sack Rose Tico on Wikipedia.
Yes, I put her, actually, I re-edited that, and I put Lee Cole, the Fourth's wife. You guys already know I will be battling EVS. If you ever watch me, I'm coming for you, because I wanted to marry Rose Tico first. Okay. I spent like $150 on all of her toys. I have a little shrine made for her.
Okay, so you want sloppy seconds after EVS then? Because that's apparently what you're going to get.
Hey, it has not been confirmed. I could make it to the race for Rose Tico first.
Well, trust me, there's plenty of K-pop people out there that look more beautiful than Kelly Marie Tran. All right, so
okay,
but
out of exile, Geek in Disguise. Have you seen this nonsense about B-level Star Wars, dude?
B-level Star Wars, dude. Who? What?
See, that's how I felt. I was like, who the hell's that?
What is B-level Star Wars? What is this?
Apparently, he's a YouTube channelist that we have no idea who the fuck he's about.
All right, when you guys get a chance, go and check him out. Watch some of his videos; they're pretty funny. He's actually taking shots at Angus and Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers.
And how many subscribers does he have?
93.
Like, I don't know, 205 now.
205?
Because he got most of them from Jeremy shouting him out on a video.
Oh.
You can watch that video where he tears them apart.
Well, I know that me and Geek could probably get 205 subscribers for shouting out Jeremy's inconsistencies.
Hang on a second. Hang on. Because I'm going to pop this up real quick. Because... Oh, shit. Camera not available. Coming back, guys. Here we come.
Bring it. What is he bringing? Let's take a look.
He's trying to do a share screen thing, I hope. Okay, here we go.
Here we go. So, everybody, can I highlight this for the people here?
Look at that. I thought he had 200 and something.
Right there.
Okay, this dude needs to go home. You don't put Captain Fordu right next to Kylo Ren. Go home.
Oh, no, that was his friend I was looking at. Never mind.
Go home. You do not put that shit-baked fucking emo... Oh, my God. Edgelord. Just get...
Yes, I did it, PB. I straight shouted him out. And here's the history behind this, guys. I had invited him. I had extended an olive branch, if you will, to come onto my show. I mean, it could even have gotten him to come on the show and to debate his point about how he feels like the Phantom Menace are perpetuating hate, yada, yada, yada.
Oh, I'd rip him apart just on the fact that he put Kylo Ren next to Captain Fordu.
I mean, and he claims, okay, so his whole claim, and I wanted to bring this up with you, Prime, was that he claims to be have extensive knowledge of the EU. And I immediately said, bullshit.
Sure he does. I'm pretty sure that he has never read Splinters of the Mind's Eye.
he has never read any of this stuff. I remember reading Shadows of the Empire before it became a video game, and then thinking, wow, N64 actually adapted it pretty decently. So,
oh my gosh, you sent an olive branch to a Wikipedia warrior? Oh my God.
Well, because I'm a nice guy.
And what kind of a name is B level? Like is that like lower class level type YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Is that like a pun?
I don't know. I looked into his whole group just to see like who he had. I guess someone else from his group has 205. One of them has 200, but the rest of them were pretty low numbers, and they have this community called the EU. And I'm sitting there skimming through the videos because, you know, I like to check my facts before I come at someone.
What's the point of calling yourself the EU if you're going to put Kylo Ren next to Captain Fordu? Like you can't sit here like, oh, I'm the EU specialist. Like, well, which one do you like? You like Disney or do you like Lucasfilm? I like them both in their retrospective regards. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Just why are we giving this guy publicity?
Because I'm a nice guy. Geek in disguise. You have that look like you're ready to say something, buddy. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm over here on John Talk's channel, going on my comment where he was talking about Captain Marvel's big involvement with taking down Thanos.
Oh my God! Again with the Captain Marvel.
Well, dude, like this.
Can we stop talking about her, please?
Well, real quick, like he apparently saw the footage too, and he's on this kick that he's got the idea that she's gonna play a huge part. And I'm like, bro, I saw that footage. She had like 10 seconds and 5 minutes worth of footage. Where are you getting this from?
Yeah, I saw 2 different 4-minute leaks on that, but I'll get to that later because I think he still wants to keep talking about B level.
No, we're fine. I'm just reading my comment section over here.
Wait, B level. Wait, okay. Is this having any correlation to BL and Orange? Is BL and Orange B level?
I have no idea.
I hate somebody who says I'm an EU specialist and you put Kylo Ren next to Captain Fordu. I mean that just completely destroys your narrative because Kylo Ren doesn't fit in the EU. You jackass. Oh, God. I have used so much profanity in the stream that he's probably like, okay, they were my PG-13 rating.
Yeah. You know what? I was supposed to change the rating, but we've had so much technical difficulty with this. I just said, F it. I'm going to go and let you guys be you because that's what the channel is about here. But, you know, you know, I just wanted to bring this jackass up just because he attacked the Phantom Collective and hasn't made the distinction that the Phantom Menace and Collective, while we all host each other, Jeremy and them, I consider it like a Mount Olympus structure, and they're kind of like up on the very top, and we're like working our way up there, but we all help each other. And this dude,
I didn't know I was actually part of the Fandom Collective. Like,
oh yeah, my man. You definitely are by extension of knowing all of us, and you've jumped into all of our.
Okay, so is it wrong to say that I just can I just go to Hades? It seems more fun.
No, you're coming along for the ride. Okay, damn it.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, I've wasted enough time on him. Everyone, if you get a chance, you can actually go to his channel and not sub to him. Just check out some of his videos and see nonsense at its finest. As we talk about here in this channel.
No. You're supposed to say do sub to him, because here's the thing. We're supposed to build each other up. We're not the ones trying to build each other down.
Oh, I love that philosophical knowledge that he just laid on me. Wow, that was... I have a thinking and reflecting moment right now.
Geek, what are you so excited for today?
What? Oh.
So,
I just claimed my custom Earl at YouTube. Yay!
Oh, okay. All right.
I no longer have a bunch of random letters and numbers. I can actually have youtube.com/thegeekindisguise.
All right, so let's go to the next talking point, because I spent enough time on him. Let's talk about the Mandalorians and Geek in Disguise. I'm going to let you go first because I have a feeling I know how Prime feels about this. Go ahead, buddy.
All right, see, I'm going to give you guys a non-Star Wars fan's perspective here. Which, like I said, I don't look at this franchise like you guys look at it. As a general audience member, I thought what I saw was pretty fascinating. Like, it looked really good for what I saw. And like I said, I can't apply that to Star Wars knowledge or history and what you guys see when you look at it. But I like Jon Favreau, dude. He's a good director, and I think it has some kind of promise of being a decent show for what it is. Not so much, you know.
Okay.
I mean, like, what am I? What do y'all want me to talk about?
I definitely like the take on that. So I got the normal perspective.
All right.
So Prime, go ahead, let it rip, buddy.
I don't want to. I mean, I don't know. You know, my perspective on it is how I've always felt. I mean, you can't build up a Mandalorian without its heritage. I mean, that's the thing. Wait, what? Geek? What's up?
Oh, my bad.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay. Okay. So go back to what I say. I mean, you can't build a Mandalorian up without its heritage, and I don't know where they're really going with it, because it seems like he's, from what I've seen of the leaked first episode, he's basically trying to build himself up as his heritage. You know, like, you know, the dude he gets hired from the remnants of the Empire gives him a piece of Beskar. I mean, is that what his whole thing is? It's just, you know, to take bounty hunting jobs, and, you know, each episode he's finding Beskar here, there, and everywhere, and then he finally has a full set of Mandalorian armor?
From how I understand it, the first season's supposed to be kind of like a building up the character, getting to know him, and I'm gathering collecting the shrouds of the armor, and then he is going to go on some more wacky zany adventures. I don't know. That was just the gist. I like the fact that they're bringing in the dude from Game of Thrones who plays Oberyn. He's a great actor.
Well, we have to be careful about that because last time we heard Gwendolyn Christie was in Star Wars sequel trilogy. Look what happened to her.
Yeah, that's but like you said, the director is good too. So I don't know. I got mixed feelings. To tell you the truth, and me and you will both debate this all day, but Clone Wars was a highlight for me. I don't know about you, Prime, but for me, I didn't see anything that really wowed me out of Celebration. I mean, Episode 9 trailer, which we're going to be segueing into right now, was like crap. But the other stuff that they highlighted, it felt like they were exactly what Geeks and Gamers and everyone else was saying. They were throwing stuff out there to see what was going to get us excited, see what we were going to be all nostalgic about, and it didn't strike me as stuff with substance, except for Clone Wars trailer legitimately got me hyped, and the clips that they showed from that. But other than that, I saw nothing. Not even the new game was really that exciting. Did you take anything out of there that really grabbed you, Prime?
Okay. The answer in short is no. I'm not, dude. I have been part of Star Wars community since Rebel Scum. Back in the day when it was actually, great and didn't have so many trolls trying to berate you or trying to report you to moderators who want to ban you for your opinion. Yeah, so don't go to that website. But back in the day, back when Star Wars Celebrations used to be, I mean, you had large panelists and all kinds of stuff doing great things. I remember back in the day, even Hasbro used to come there and set up a panel where they would just start sculpting action figures right in front of everybody. And I didn't see anything like that. The whole gist of it with the release of the 3 trailers. First, you had the Rise of Skywalker, which was like, okay, yeah, sure, all right, we knew what the hell you were going to do. Bring back Palpatine. Yeah, sure, all right, cool, thanks. Indoor, okay, yeah, there's Death Star 2 panel or whatever sighting or whatever you want to call it in the water. And then you see the Clone Wars trailer, and the sad thing about that is, even though I'm not particularly liking Filoni for what he did to continuity or the whole thing, but you also have to understand, I did watch the thing in its entirety of the Clone Wars, and I understand that a lot of people felt like that there was something left to bridge the gap, what needed to be done. So is Filoni gonna take these last episodes and finally bring us to that point that the micro series did? Like, is it going to bring us to where Captain Rex and then we get called to Coruscant for the Battle of Coruscant, and then that's the end of the final episode? Because that's what the micro series did. So I'm curious how that's going to take it, because this is the final season. There will be no more Clone Wars after this.
So yeah, and that is an interesting point, and I do share the same opinion as far as that goes. What I like to see is Ahsoka's arc finally mesh with Rebels, because I did like Rebels, and I would like to see where she finally gets to where she was going when they found her in that show, and hilariously where Rex was as well. I would like to see the psychological, because essentially he lost all of his team, and I would like to see how that would be played out. I think it's intriguing showing the old clones being pushed out for the new stormtroopers, so I would really like to see how that unfolds. But yeah, I can understand some of the continuity issues, and maybe from perspective, those will at least be able to be mended and give us some kind of satisfaction, no matter what side of the argument you fall on that. But I think we can both agree that that's a lot more exciting, because we can debate at least friendly about that. Where Episode 9, and people, you can leave me comments down there, I'll read them out, where you can understand we can collectively say no one was excited about that trailer at all.
Right. And to finalize the final point, which you were asking me about the Mandalorian trailer, and this is what I brought up to Hallmark in a comment last night, my live stream. I was like, dude, you do realize that even though that this is set 6 years after the events of Return of the Jedi, this still falls in line with the timeline of The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi and the new movie, The Rise of the Skywalkers. So you're gonna have to worry about what Disney put into Jon Favreau's thing to make it partially into their canon. I mean, the new character in The Rise of Skywalker, the African American lady with the, you know, bow and the metal crossbow or whatever the hell you want to call it, compound bow. You know, she could be a descendant who's part of somebody in the Mandalorian show, and we have no idea.
Well, that's the problem. Continuity issues once again plagued Star Wars. So let's get to the biggest nostalgia-driven train wreck. I wish I still had Mary back in the chat, but then again, she probably would
Star Wars is getting ready to
really
blow
upset.
Up continuity-wise. We'll
start off this discussion
right.
with the trailer with Geek in Disguise. Go ahead, buddy. Tell us what you thought of this great nostalgia trailer.
Which nostalgia trailer?
Yeah,
you broke up there for a second. I couldn't hear you.
He's asking what nostalgia trailer there, Lee.
Oh, episode 9.
Yeah.
Again, dude, from the perspective of a non-Star Wars fan and general audience member, I mean, I thought it looked good for a trailer. Hell, I would say that trailer in its entirety was better than the entirety of The Last Jedi.
I have to agree with that because technically speaking, you could just skip the first 2 movies and go straight to this one if you really wanted to.
Well, see, and it's weird because I already read that they said the ending was changed halfway through filming.
Here's the thing. The thing is that I feel like this is just. I didn't have a problem with Force Awakens. A lot of people did. But this is now become an issue, which is my biggest pet peeve, which is storylines. If you're going to have an ongoing thing, storylines that connect and threads that connect. So what you have is you had JJ who started something in Force Awakens and had clear story threads that were neglected by Last Jedi and completely muttered and destroyed. And now you have JJ trying to pick up those loose threads and make something happen. And this whole trailer felt like a mess to me because it's like, how did Rey learn to be like an awesome Jedi? What is the time gap? What do they mean by, oh, you have all of the Jedi knowledge? And how does she have it? And I was watching a video, and another good point, why hasn't she changed her clothes? She is literally wearing the same exact thing that she wore from Force Awakens to Last Jedi, and there's no reason why. So
Lee, it's very simple why she's wearing the same clothes, because when they edited in the new footage of Carrie Fisher, which was old footage, they have to make it continuity in their sense that she's wearing the same clothes that she was when they did the shot when they were doing the hugging scene with Carrie Fisher in the trailer. Yeah. So she can't wear different clothes in the third film because now she has to wear the same clothes she wore when they edited in the old footage to bring back Carrie Fisher. So yeah, there's that.
It's just like, it's such a mess to me. This whole thing is a mess.
I have a question for Geek. Did you see the tweet by Gabriel Garcia from 2012 about?
Yeah. I did. Yeah, I brought that up the other night, actually. Like, how much of a revelation is that one?
Like, revelation? More like ex-employee who had to delete their Twitter account because now they work at Lucasfilm?
I don't know, man. They were either just really good at predictions, or the studio just went in and was like, hey, that's a great idea. Let's roll with that. You know, it's I don't know. Over at Lucasfilm, it wouldn't surprise me if the think tank was like just scrolling when they was like, hey, y'all, check this out. This shit looks good. Let's go with this. Because I don't know, man. And I was looking. There's no way to edit Twitter, tweets. So it's not like somebody could have just went back now to a post from then and edited it for that.
Oh no, they will. That's yeah. I mean, sure. If you work for Twitter, like with my forum, I could go back and make a new post and set the time way back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is fake on that end, but I don't know. At this point, it's anyone's flip the coin.
It's one of those like The Simpsons predicted it, but
oh
like I said, it's hard to tell if they predicted or somebody just ripped off the idea. I mean, didn't they do that with The Last Jedi? They ripped off some fanfic ideas.
Yeah, there was a fanfic story that someone had written on a blog. I forget exactly who, but that's someone brought that up. It's like, this sounds a lot like this dude's fan fiction, and it sounds like Rian Johnson stole it. I was like, well, that doesn't seem surprising to me.
No.
You know what? And getting to Rian Johnson, I would not be surprised if he stole something, because the man has not had an original idea that I could foresee, or unless he's coming through and wrecking storylines. He doesn't have an original bone in his body. And yeah, I could picture him ripping off a bunch of stuff. You could say what you want to about JJ, but some stuff that he did try and attempt was at least trying to think outside the box and do something interesting. Whereas Rian Johnson just came in, to quote Miley Cyrus, like a wrecking ball, destroy everything, just everything. He was on a mission to see how much he could F up before the movie ended.
I mean, this is something I brought up to Hallmark the other night. I was like, okay, so with the Gabriel Garcia thing with the tweet, I was like, here's one or two options I have. Do you think, one, either JJ or someone at Lucasfilm stole that title, or two, this is somebody who's linked information that they already had scripts basically
probably
a month after the buyout by Disney? Because it seemed, because you heard what Rian Johnson claims. He says, "Oh yeah, we already had this story written, way before anything." So I'm like, well, can I give credence to that? Because you may think Rian Johnson's a stupid man, but sometimes stupid people let out stupid things that are actually the fucking truth because they're too stupid to not say things they should. You get my drift?
No, I got you completely.
So I just wanted to answer something really quick. Perp Mind brought up something good. He says, what does everybody want from Star Wars? Do you guys want them to stick with the Skywalker storyline, which I think been their biggest issue, or going completely different direction? That's a very good question. Let me pose it to, let's go with Geek in Disguise first on this one, and then we'll do Prime next. What do you think?
And the topic is, it keeps breaking up a lot. I don't know why.
I believe he said, "What do you?" The question was, what would you like to see Disney do based upon should they have brought back the Skywalker story or something along those lines?
It seems to me that I'm kind of getting my thoughts heard in a way, if that makes any sense, because I know they're not personally hearing them, but after reading some stuff today and reading that article that they were talking about with Rian Johnson and Benioff and Weiss's films coming up, the Skywalker saga is over. This is it. And then they're going to be focusing on a slew of other movies that introduce all these new characters and expand on the Star Wars universe while not piggybacking the Skywalker legacy and the original films. So, I mean, I've been saying that for a long time, that Lucasfilms needs to take and focus more on the rest of the galaxy, because it's a vast galaxy. There's a hell of a lot more they could be doing and stories they could be telling and bloodlines and lineages and stuff that they could be exploring outside of Skywalker. So, I mean, I can't really say too much of what I want because it's already in the works. And I think that's why I like the Mandalorian footage that I've seen so far, because it's something different. Yes, it takes place supposedly, I think, after episode 3, but
no, it's episode 6.
Or episode 6. Like I said, it's just explore. I mean, I've always said they should have done a Jedi Academy style franchise, kind of like Harry Potter, where you go through the years with new students and stuff and build new characters. Dive deep into the lore of the Jedi and the Sith. And, you know, I mean...
Oh, man. You're a Skywalker.
Your house Palpatine. I don't
know. Oh my God. A Jedi Academy that actually accepts the dark arts. You got Sith on one side and Jedi on the other side. They're always competing for the top house of the year. Oh, that's great.
So, with that being said, because I don't think he could have segued that better for Prime. Let us know what you think, and then I'll get to my thoughts.
Okay. I'm just going to say what I truly feel, but then go into a different perspective about what could be done. So, me personally, as I've stated last night to Hallmark, I'm not opening my wallet to Disney unless they retconned everything and set everything back the way it was. I mean, that's just truly how I feel. I mean, I can't say that it, like it's like someone at it's okay. I'll explain it this way. How I explained it to somebody else. I just remembered. It's like Coca-Cola making new Coke, and everybody's still trying to see if it's a bad taste or not. And I'm already like, it already is a bad taste. I just want the original formula
back. I think that was a very good thing. Here's my feelings. I was down for them finishing what they started with the other Star Wars because I'm a big completionist. I proved that with going through and watching Captain Marvel because of the fact that it's an MCU movie and I've got to watch things in sync. That's just how my mind works. Even though I knew it had nothing to do with Endgame, I'm a completionist. So if I start one crappy thing, I got to see it all the way through unless it's truly horrid, which Captain Marvel was. But anyways, and for me, I mirror kind of what Geek in Disguise and you do Prime is that, especially what Geek said, there is a lot of stories in this universe. I still haven't gotten my damn Boba Fett movie because that would have been epic. We haven't gotten an Obi-Wan movie. That would have been cool. We haven't gotten a Vader movie. That would have been good. It's just like you have all of these stories, as Geek said, and no one decided to touch on any of the good stories that people would be interested in. What do we get? We get Lando and Han and Lando into robots. That's what we got. And Rogue One was okay, but I mean, we got Han Solo. There was no mystery. We knew who Han Solo was very clearly, and then we got more development on him. We didn't need a Han Solo movie at all. You could have scrapped that and made like 30 different other things. And this is the problem is with the fans is that if you're going to touch legacy stuff, do it right, which they didn't. And if you're going to introduce new characters, then make them engaging and enjoyable, which they didn't. So my question is, how will they market new characters? Because they're not bringing in anything that is intriguing. What we're getting something on Poe Dameron, and who gives a crap about Poe? No one cares about Poe. What's the next trilogy going to be? On Rey? No one cares about Rey. I mean, I don't see, honestly, where they could make something new and exciting that anyone really gives a crap about because, I mean, it's just a mess.
If I may, here's the thing that I've noticed about the sequel trilogies that seems to be our current theme. If you look at The Force Awakens, if you look at The Last Jedi, and then you look at, The Rise of Skywalker, I think everybody can agree that for a universe that's supposed to be so big, it is very small in comparison to the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy.
Oh, without a doubt. You and me can debate on the prequel trilogy till the cows come home, but they've at least given us stuff to debate about, and that's where I will debate that Dave Filoni is not on the level of the other people, because at least
he world builds a lot, and I do honestly know that for a fact. You know, we see Mon Calamari. It's it's a spire underwater city. You know, we see the catacombs, which you notice a little bit more. I mean, visually and the spectacles he makes with his TV show. You know, he does world build a lot better than than the sequel trilogy. I mean, when you look at the sequel trilogy, you went from Jakku, which is a desert planet that looks like Tatooine, and then you go to Maz Kanata's castle, which is basically Seattle. Then you went from Seattle to basically Greenland.
Yes.
I mean, it's that's only like 3 type scenario planets, and this world is so big that we have so many multiple environments. I mean, like when you watch Revenge of the Sith, George Lucas didn't make Kashyyyk look like Endor. He went and made it look completely crazy and new. He went to China for one, where they have those weird mountains. I forget what it's called. But then he's I think I don't want to say blue screen it, but green screens some of the footage in there where he actually took props of that large bonsai tree looking thing and made it look like a giant tree that Wookiees live in. Like I'm not seeing anything that looks like that. I'm not seeing anything visually that looks great. I mean, with The Last Jedi, you only see 2 planets. Canto Bight, and then that one that's basically a salt planet. And I'm like, that makes no sense. Like this is supposed to be Star Wars. We're supposed to be bunny hopping from like different scenarios. It's visually seeing things that intrigue us that are new, not things that are not supposed to be new. And now we look at Rise of Skywalker, and I'm just like, oh, great. There's the Death Star 2. We're going back to Endor. We're not going someplace new. Lovely.
And I think that is a good place to leave this. In my mind, Celebration was meh. And, I consider it more of fun watching Geeks and Gamers and their shenanigans during Celebration than I did actually watching stuff from Celebration. So let's get on everyone's favorite topic of discussion that the YouTube verse loves covering. Let's talk about the greatest actress to ever grace the big screen. All of our here's favorite. I can see Geek's eyebrow raising right now.
No, please.
Yes, we are going to deep dive, no pun intended at all, into Brie Larson. So, with that terrible...
My NPC face just did an open mouth angry face now.
Let's have our buddy, because he's been dying to say stuff about this since I started this stream.
Go ahead.
Geek in Disguise. Go nuts.
Brie the Tree Larson.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, dude. I've seen Plank on Ed and Eddie emote more than she can. No, yeah. I mean, I just don't personally like the girl. I think she's Katherine Heigl in the making. It's her situation all over again. By the end of her 20s, she's going to have alienated herself in the industry because of her attitude and the way she's carrying herself. And everybody kept saying, oh, the rumors going around that, she was not getting along with people behind the scenes at Endgame and that people didn't like her. I mean, the interview with Chris Hemsworth alone solidified that was true, dude. That there's shit going on behind the scenes with that chick.
Oh, people said that she wanted to angry fuck Chris Hemsworth after that comment.
Like, you saw her, man. She's like, I feel like we've been fighting all day, because they probably have on the slide back and forth, you know? I mean, yeah. And you saw Rhodey over there. Rhodey's just like, I'm going to distance myself as far away as I could possibly can. And then we watched, in my stream the other day, we watched the interview with her and Jeremy Renner. And Jeremy Renner just was so uncomfortable sitting next to her. And he shot her down, too, because she's like, oh, I get to use this as a platform to, you know, my agenda and this and that. And Renner's like, yeah, I'm just enjoying making the movie. I'm not using it as a platform for anything other than to have fun and make people smile and have a good time while they watch the movies. And all of like a 4.5-minute interview, he only looked at her twice. And every other time he was just like looking everywhere but at her, around her, through her. Dude, she's got bad blood going on behind the scenes. And it's finally starting to come out to the public in these interviews. Now, I watched the 5 minutes footage today that was released, and thank God there was only 10 seconds of her in it. And I will say she looks nothing like we've seen so far. She looks completely different, which was kind of surprising, considering all the, you know, with the makeup and stuff that they said we're having issues with there in that scene with Thor. I mean, just get this chick out of the way. Like, for the love of all things holy in the fandom and in its entirety, just find a way to do off with this chick, whether it be Rogue, whether it be any other means, and bring in Monica Rambeau and just leave it at that. I mean, it's...
Yeah, isn't that funny that we're actually wanting a black female superhero to replace a white one now?
Well, to be honest, in the words of Brie Larson, it should have already happened. And if Brie Larson wasn't a hypocrite, she would have stepped aside and said, maybe you should open this up for Monica Rambeau and not Carol Danvers. You know, but she wants to speak on the behalf of diversity. How, you know, she stepped in the role of a black superhero and took the light with an unliked version of the character. You know, I mean, when you think Captain Marvel and likable, you think Monica Rambeau. You don't think Carol Danvers. Because I mean,
I didn't think of any of them because I didn't even know who Monica Rambeau or Carol Danvers or Captain Marvel was until this year.
Well, see, I grew up in the 80s and 90s on hand-me-down comics and B-box comics for the most part, going with my brother to the comic book stores. They hand me down the comics they didn't really feel like keeping. And that's how I came to know Shang-Chi, Monica Rambeau, and all those characters. But yeah, I mean, not as Captain Marvel itself. Monica Rambeau had a good decade-long run of just enrichment, freaking fulfilled storytelling. I mean, she left the moniker of Captain Marvel to go on to be Spectrum, and then started to lead the Secret Avengers, actually led the Avengers, and then I think she's still leading part of the Secret Avengers. But yeah, dude, get rid of this chick, man. God forbid after Endgame she needs to go. It's just too divisive. And if Marvel was smart, they would see that. And yeah, I get it. Captain Marvel made $1.1 billion. Well, close to it. But it's not all because of Brie Larson. You know, there were other factors in there. Nick Fury, Coulson, Ronan, you know, they fan baited.
Don't forget the end credit scene that everybody wants to go see.
Yeah, you pay all this money to go watch a 2-minute clip. Not even a 2-minute clip. What was it, a minute long? And it wasn't even all that interesting to begin with. She just pops up and goes, well, where's Fury? Like, oh, big Endgame tie-in there. Woo. They just... And I can't believe she took credit for that shit, too. Like, she came out and was like, oh, it was because of me.
So, on that one, I'm going to give it to the guy who cares about this whole subject the least out of all of us. Prime, you win with your funny comments.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, her acting career stinks so bad. You need some Febreze.
Febreze? Easy. That's horrible, bro. I love that Febreze.
Yeah.
Hell out of here.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
God.
Yeah, corny joke right off the bat. Okay. So yeah, I have seen possibly 8 minutes of leaked footage from 2 different sources, but that's another story for later because I'm not an asshole who likes to spoil shit for people. But I will say this, visually, they did change something about her upcoming that she didn't do to her hair, but they did it to her in the film. So I'm curious about that. But honestly, she's overpowered. She's the definition of a cheat code.
IDDQD.
Yeah, up, down, square, quarter, triangle, triangle. Yeah. I just don't like it. You know, it's you know, when I see her playing anything in this movie, it's like I'm just playing with somebody who doesn't like how the rules are, and they just want to sit there and just change the rules about how things go in a film. And I'm just like, why should I care at this point? You know, she's interesting in the movie as she is in real life. I mean, look at her and Scott Pilgrim. She was a resting bitch in that.
Yeah,
thing.
she was.
But at least she was a tolerable resting bitch face in that movie. I actually didn't mind.
Dude, let me tell you something. Brie Larson is the definition of what men say. Don't go home with that bitch in the bar.
Yes. All right, and now I saved my tyrant for last because everyone knows how I love Brie so much. So I'm gonna get going on my thing. First off, I think she is a condescending, 2-bit,
Lee wants some
typical
Brie,
Hollywood tramp with no acting skills and whacked out SJW politics and leftist views that we've seen. The only difference between all the other leftists that have come out of the woodwork, like Meryl Streep and Cher and the rest of those has-beens now that are trying to make themselves relevant still by saying all the nonsense that they say, is that the difference is that at least they had acting credits.
Here comes the 5-hour live stream.
At least they had acting credits to kind of glide in on, to kind of make them still like, oh, okay, Meryl Streep saying something, well, you know, but she's in a new movie. What has Brie done? Scott Pilgrim? Chris Evans was better in that movie, okay, as the surfer dude. And I like the vegan guy. I know he was in a couple of like stuff. You know, I liked him. What's his face was in it, who actually plays Scott Pilgrim.
I feel like I've seen this stream before, Geek.
but I mean, what has she done? And the biggest, most asinine statement that I heard, besides every other thing that I hear 5 times a day, being from New York and getting grossly offended, was, oh, I can't walk through Central Park anymore. What? No one wanted to walk through Central Park, Brie. Okay?
No one walks in Central Park in the middle of 12 a.m. on a, you know.
No. You will see things you don't want to see unless you're trying to see it. Like, does this girl...
You ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Oh, my God. This girl just says outlandish
Have you ever smiled at Brie Larson?
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like no one... in 34 years, I have never seen someone single-handedly try to ruin products like Brie Larson, except for Ryan Johnson. They're both on the same level of asinine stupidity, and it grinds my gears. And then we have the whole... So let's just take it back. First, we have the Rotten Tomatoes thing, okay? After Brie Larson said she didn't care about what the opinions of old white people who rate the movies, okay? And then we have the Disney machine and Rotten Tomatoes working overtime to clean up that mess. Then after that, she comes out and says, backtrack and go, oh, I didn't really mean it that way, blah, 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 blah. Normal crap plug that they do when they're trying to clean up a mess. Then she goes on Jimmy Kimmel and she says how she's not getting along with castmates. And, well, guess what? During this press tour, we've seen who she doesn't get along with. Everyone in Endgame doesn't like her. Robert Downey Jr. had to crack a joke when she said that stupid thing about Thanos. You see Robert Downey Jr. being the consummate actor that he is, trying to save the movie and start clapping and, you know, do his little funny Robert Downey Jr. thing. And you know, Don Cheadle looks uncomfortable. Chris Hemsworth wants to punch her in real life. You know, Jeremy Renner just like totally shut her down when she was talking, so that she didn't look like a fool with him at present. I mean, do they draw straws to determine who's going to get effed over by her appearing with them? I mean, I can picture the cast sitting in the back going, I did this last week. Who's got paper, rock, scissors, anyone? No?
Attention audience, can we please get Lee a Star Wars cap and some white wind glasses with a Geeks and Gamers t-shirt?
I mean, it's just at this point, it's just, oh Jesus, this woman she infuriates me. Like, my ex.
Lee, I'm going to cut you off, buddy. I'm going to do like every man does when he gets too drunk. I'm going to cut you off. Okay, man. You're letting this chick get underneath your skin more than a relationship right now. Holy shit.
It's just like,
dude, she's done with James Gunn
of my ex, because my ex used to constantly say dumb stuff, but the thing is that at least I got something out of that. I don't get anything out of this except for watching my franchise destroyed. It's like a bad relationship. You're not getting the play, and you still have to listen to her talk.
Well, yeah, I mean, technically speaking, if you look at Captain Marvel, it's like, okay, yeah, you're gonna pay alimony. Well, I still go do something with the person that you don't like.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, you have to get the kids, but you have to deal with the person you don't want to deal with. And you have to listen to their mouth while you're trying to pack up the kids as quickly as you can into the car, so that way you can just be like, okay, I'll have them back, just and start driving away. But you can't drive away from Brie because she's everywhere. I mean, literally every day.
I think looking at those movie posters is certifiably made you go insane over her, dude.
I mean, 8 hours. 8 hours, and we got 5 more.
Dude, I know exactly how he felt.
I can't do it.
Back in 2003, when I worked at 7-Eleven,
it's like this is how the Joker became.
Oh, I
the
know
Joker.
the Jessica Simpson thing. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
back
my God.
when Dukes of Hazzard came out, that chick
it
was
really
everywhere.
is. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Lee, take a breath. Take a breath. Breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in out. Breathe in and out, dude. Holy crap.
I've been holding these articles in all day.
No, dude, you haven't held it in anything. Me, Geek, saw what you were doing the other night. You streamed for 5 hours about this chick. 5 hours.
Yeah, dude,
I'll tell you what, you know what? Geek
Ahsoka.
Gamers might have put out more videos than me, but I know they didn't go as long as me about my tyrants on her.
You're making John
I don't
talks.
think a man on Viagra could go as long as you.
Dude, you're making John Talks, Geeks and Gamers, and Jeff look like novices about how long you could go about Brie Larson, dude. Seriously.
Oh my God.
Did you see Kay's comment? He needs to go to a rehabilitation center. Oh my God, dude, you got me with that one, Kay. Oh wow.
I love that shit. Thanks a lot, Kay.
I'm taking that. I'm stealing that. That's mine.
I mean,
do you not want to change subjects? I mean, wasn't the last one Raylo?
Oh yeah. So let me get back into my actual place of joy. I know no one wanted to touch this, but let's talk about shipping.
No.
As in like naval shipping?
No, as in like FedEx or
no,
UPS.
as in this whole Raylo thing.
Yeah, really. Really, I love UPS, man. You know, if it's a chips, you know, I love that stuff. I could get deals on that thing. You know, I could shove 3 DVDs into a package and get it for like $7.
But unfortunately, gentlemen, I'm going to call it because my ass passed out for 14 hours last night, and I feel bad that I left my wife up all night by herself. So I'm going to go spend some time with my wife. I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Thank you for having me.
Oh, okay.
Make room for somebody else. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock, man. I'm going to hop off. I've been here for an hour and a half. Not trying to make this, unbalanced.
No problem. Why don't you plug your channel really quick?
Hey, everybody. Geek in Disguise here. You can check out my channel. I'll go ahead and post a link. Game streams, movies, TV news and reviews, reactions, rants, the usual. But yeah, let's see here. Let's try out this new link, see if it works now that I've got claim to it.
Huh.
Oh, nope. I'm not a mod, so it won't post.
Oh.
Why did it put a space in there? That's stupid. All right, Pert.
Oh, hold on. All right. Geez. Okay, if I was more organized than this, we had difficulties, technical difficulties, but it is just Geek in Disguise. Click on his name, give him a sub, make sure that you show him some love, and you can check out his awesome content. I'm very envious because he's got the most spectacular trailer breakdowns ever, and he constantly makes me upset because he covers stuff that I want to, only he does it better. You have to stare at this. He's got the fancy screen in the background, and he's breaking down bit by bit.
Don't forget, he's also got all that memorabilia on his wall while you just got a Dojo logo.
Yeah, look at this.
$24 on Amazon.
That's a broom. Where's the weapons? Right over. Oh, no, those are the trophies. Oh, my God. All right.
I'm going to be doing a product unboxing this weekend. I'm going to be getting my Blue Snowball mic set up in, hopefully, and have that unboxed this weekend and set up. Yeah.
That's nice. So you're getting rid of the headset look?
Well, I mean, I still might keep it in. I don't know.
Hey, do like Jeremy does. Just put the headset around your neck.
It's causing a lot of issues with echo and reverb, man. I don't know why. It doesn't stay constant,
Oh, yeah.
That clean. And I don't know why. Some videos it sounds really good. Some videos it just sounds awful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But it's mostly going to be for live streams, I do believe. Not so much my reactions and all that, because I'd have to sit so far back. It's not really going to make. I don't know. We'll see. I have to play around with it, but it's getting got.
No, that's good to know.
All righty. So, thank you for coming on, and we appreciate having you, man.
All right, y'all. Catch you later.
Later.
Okay, so now that I don't have to play this, the last thing that I wanted to cover here on the channel, the last topic that I wanted to discuss is just miscellaneous stuff that was in the Star Wars that I felt made no sense, like this whole shipping panel, which Prime very funny was talking about the great shipping deals at your local UPS, but
oh yeah,
from what I was gathering, it was more of I don't know, like imaginary hookups. And Jesus Christ. So
you don't know about the shipping panel at Celebration?
I know very little bit. I heard bits and pieces, but
okay, so this was from SC Reviews.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he did a review of all the stuff that was happening. Geek was with me while we were actually looking at this stuff during my 7-hour stream. You could probably go back to it when we were all discussing it. It was like my very first stream on here. But considering it's so long, I don't suggest, because I didn't put timestamps on anything. But in retrospect to what I'm saying, yeah, apparently there was a queer speed dating thing happening at Celebration.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was one of them. There was a Raylo panel, which is basically all the people who want to ship together and talk about the Raylo shit. There was a diversity inclusion panel. I mean, there was 3 more of them. I can't really remember, but I remember PB and us were all talking about it that night too. We were like, oh my gosh, it's like, do they even know what this is going down there? And they're like, I hope so, because that's very odd. I was like, oh, I can see it now. Jessie Milestone sees the queer dating section, and she's trying to get everybody to go in there. just for shits and giggles, I guess. Oh, God.
Here was my take, what I heard about this whole thing, and now being illuminated more. Thank you, Prime, for destroying any hope I had for Star Wars. Here's my thing. What does this have to do with Star Wars used to... I went to one celebration, just one, and it was after the prequels and everything. I was dressed up like Anakin from Dark Side, not Anakin and Padme Sam Love, okay? So before you guys start going crazy and being, oh, Padme. Yes, I got attacked by 50 Padmes when I went. I had the scar on my eye and the dark robe get up for Revenge of the Sith. And I gotta say, none of this stupid crap was a part. I don't remember any of it. I mean, maybe it was there and I just didn't see it, but I don't remember panels like that. It was just like a mix of, oh, we've got to make the old fan base happy, but now we've got to pander and cater to the new SJW crowd who might be here. And newsflash, guess what? SJWs aren't buying your stuff. When are they going to learn? SJWs do not endorse these products. They don't spend money. They're not your base. They're not the loyal people who go and dress up and have a good time and want to take pictures with people that they like and get memorabilia signed and all that. They're not your base. And we create panels for shipping, for gay speed dating panels, if I understand right. Like, what does that have to do with Star Wars? Like, what have we gotten so far off base? Like, that becomes a thing. Is this gonna happen in everything? I mean, I go to anime conventions. Are we gonna? I mean, I don't even want to. And this is a sad part of anime. A lot of people joke about this, but there really are hentai panels. Okay, that's the only weird thing that I want to see at an anime convention. And trust me, I wandered into that by accident. Did not know what that was about. Never again. Okay, I seen things I can't take back. And that's what this like shipping thing would have been for me. I would have just screamed in the middle of this. What does this have to do with Star Wars? Like,
okay, I'll tell you what it has to do with Star Wars. It's not your Star Wars. It's not for you.
yeah. That's what. It's not my Star Wars. Prime, it's not your Star Wars. People in the chat, it's not your Star Wars. So who the hell are they creating this for?
The new Centennials, like Geek talks about all the time. That's who it's for.
These new snowflakes.
And I basically told Geek, I was like, dude, if you think you're worrying about Centennials, you got to worry about the next generation. He's like, I don't even know what to call the next generation. I was like, well, you call them what they're trying to turn everybody, bicentennials.
It's just like, I remember I was working the other day and I was listening to Nirvana, and I had one of the younger crowd ask me, "Oh, who's that? That sounds like garbage." And I was just like, "What?" I was like, and then I go, "Okay, so what are you guys listening to?" And they played some kind of weird techno. Like, I felt like maybe I needed a hit of acid. It was all over the place, and there was no lyrics of any kind.
Mumble rap. That's what I always hear. It's fucking mumble rap.
It was crazy. I don't even. I don't even know what's going on with this new generation.
Well, you remember Jeremy's stream when he, that first one, he's inside and he's trying to find everybody. It's the first day at Celebration. And they start playing music that isn't Star Wars, and he's like, "What the hell does this have to do with Star Wars?"
That was this whole entire experience when I'm watching it. I'm like, what does this have to do at all with Star Wars? I mean,
I've been to Comic Cons that have more inclusion of comics than Star Wars Celebration have more inclusion of Star Wars at this point.
The great thing I love, even though that some of anime, some of the American companies are becoming woke, and if you guys don't know, check out Yellow Flash. I really like his channel. He covers this stuff pretty well. He's got a good in-depth knowledge. I shot him some comments, and he's commented back to me, and he's got a very good knowledge. And it's just like I didn't go to the last anime convention because I was working. I'm gonna check out another one that's pretty big around here. I believe it'll be either Milwaukee or Chicago, one of those. And he was talking about how like even with dubbing now for an anime has been changed to fit narratives. Like I forgot the series, but two characters where it was implied that they were really good friends, they made them like lovers in the translation. And when you listen to the English and then switch it over to the Japanese, it was even subtitled wrong. And I knew that because I picked up the language from being a martial arts teacher and from not wanting to listen to, not wanting to have the subtitles on and just listening to the original Japanese. And I'm looking at the subtitle translation, and then I'm looking at what's being said, and I'm like, they didn't say that. Like someone subbed this wrong. And I was just like, this is where we're going. Even imported is not safe anymore to be imported here in America. It's getting to a point where even the companies that are doing dubs now are dubbing stuff wrong to fit narratives with these companies becoming woke. And it just blows my mind. And, it's the effect of Disney is doing the same thing with these nonsensical panels. And I wasn't there, but I'm sure you probably had a lot of people into those stupid shipping panels. And honestly, I'm watching the streams and stuff, and I see so much stuff, and I'm like, what?
I just remembered something, dude. This is something that was brought up on the 7-hour stream. I think it was PB who brought it up, but the queer speed dating thing at Star Wars.
Yeah.
He said, so you don't want to see Ben Solo trying to date Han Solo?
Oh yes, when I think Star Wars. Hey, what's up, Matrix? Good to see you. Yes, when I think Star Wars, that has been a burning question in my mind. Jesus Christ. It's like, and me and you have had a lively debate here tonight about continuity between Clone Wars and stuff, and we haven't had a difference of opinion. But the great thing about those debates, whether or not you didn't like the continuity back when the prequels were released, where at least we can have friendly discussions about it. It wasn't as divisive. And at the end of the day, we can both agree at least watchable products were made. Whereas now, all of this stuff, it's like mind-boggling my not care level for anything. This is like Episode 9 trailer, I don't care. New Star Wars game, I don't care. Shipping panels, I don't care. Some of the people who were doing autographs and stuff, I didn't really care. I mean, it's just this celebration, and I'm just going to come out and say it feels like probably the worst. The only entertainment I had was watching Geeks and Gamers get drunk. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. Watch that live stream when they're all at Patty's Pub. I got invited there, and I couldn't make it because of my insurance.
Well, Jeremy didn't drink. I know that for a fact.
But the rest of them, oh my God, that was hilarious.
Dude, I was watching it, and people were trying to get Jeremy to drink that whole entire time. And he got offended, man. He got so offended. Because there was a dude on EVS stream who's like, name your price. he was going to super chat him to fucking take one swig of fucking beer. Like, you didn't even have to like be like, yeah, okay, that's all right, thanks. You know, he was just like a one swig, man, for any price you could think of reasonably. I'm like, really, dude? I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, and I had someone in the chat that I wanted to address right now. Mr. WhiteTuber, he said episode 4. What? Yep, this is the 4th episode, guys. So thank you, because I've had enough people to tune in. Episode 3, we had Prime on here and Mr. Odin. And I wasn't a Geek in Disguise on here too?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so it was all of us. That was episode 3. So, yeah, Mr. White, we are on our 4th episode of Let's Talk. Wrestler Matrix said, maybe he's recovering from the alcohol. Yes, I know a lot of people were drunk that night. There were like 5 streams up. I looked, and my phone gets notifications, and I hear bing, 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 and it's like open-minded. Just Proper, all of them just streaming simultaneously different angles of the same part.
Right.
And I was just like, you know what? Forget Celebration. They should just have a Geeks and Gamers celebration, because that was more entertaining to me than all of what I saw at Celebration.
Right.
That was
hang on.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. So yeah, that was what happened there. And for everyone who just joined us, we were talking various topics. We covered Star Wars, we covered Clone Wars, how I was excited about that. We touched on the Mandalorians, and of course, as I am a slave to YouTube, I talked about episode 9 trailer and our feelings on that. So that's kind of where we're at. And right now, we're just kind of going through to our thoughts of Celebration as a whole before we wrap things up. So what were your thoughts as a whole, Prime, about Celebration?
Boring. It's just boring.
Boring, right?
I've seen better ones. Let's just put it that.
So on that, Prime, have you been to Celebration personally?
No, I've always wanted to, but when you follow the ones that people have always gone to, like Rebel Scum used to always have pictures and people who represented the website, and you see like their panel pictures, and even people who went to Star Wars Celebration in Europe, you'd see what was going on there and such like that. It was a money saver.
So, myself, I went a couple of years ago, and it was great. I don't remember all of this other nonsensical stuff. I went into the era of the prequels and all that, like around that time frame when stuff that got everyone excited was out.
That was probably like, okay, what year was it?
Oh God, you're asking me to go back on like 34. So when I'm trying to figure out when episode 3 came out, God, how?
2005.
2005, yeah. So
you might have been at Celebration 2 in 2002 then.
Yeah, it was 2002 because, yeah, it was about that time period. God, look at the gray hair. I'm showing my age here. I can't even believe shit. It was. I do remember one thing. I had a fun time. I still got some stuff from that. And I remember being genuinely excited. Like everything that was premiering was like, wow, and you were excited about the different panels and things coming out with the Clone Wars and, lead-ins to the new movie and things like that. And it was a time of buzz and excitement. And like now, this celebration felt like a trip into a bad, like, you know, I don't know, like a dubstep party or something, you know, like where you're wondering and you're like, where the hell did I just go?
You mean one of those anime dubstep parties?
Oh, God. It was like, this celebration felt like a really bad rave where you're just like...
Yeah.
And you're just like...
I've seen a live stream of that from a buddy of mine, and I'm like, what does that have to do with anime again?
It's the way things are going. It's the way things are going. And with that, I'm going to get to finally my last little bit before we call this a wrap. This is a loaded question, Prime. Where do you foresee the future? Is Star Wars going to pull itself back to the light side of the Force, or are we going to descend deeper into the dark side?
It's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
You know that as much as me, because they're going to keep doubling down until their fan base is basically those who they're wanted to pander to, and then when those who they want to pander to no longer are supporting them financially, they'll take a hiatus. And then when they finally take the hiatus, and then when they start bringing out stuff trying to get a revitalization out of the franchise, that's when you'll be seeing people like me like, well, did you get rid of the old stuff you did?
Yes. And Matrix brings up a good point. Star Wars is over. It's more than just a phase. It represents Star Wars resurrected like Pet Sematary. I like that. Yeah, really at this point, and I saw that movie. I've been meaning to do a review on it, but it's like you know, you go to that sacred Indian burial ground and you put it in there, but when it comes back, it is not what you want back. It's something evil.
It's a demon. It's a demon.
It's something evil from a Wendigo, and the Native Americans knew to leave it alone, but you didn't, and now it's going to eat you and murder your family. So,
wait, not okay. How does it eat you unless it doesn't murder you first? Come on, man.
It's Pet Sematary. I don't know, man. Stephen King. Who knows what's going on up there?
Oh man. You wake up one day, your foot's missing, and you're like, what happened to my foot? Tainted meat. Tainted meat. Now it's a Walking Dead reference.
Yes, I know. Oh my God, that was another series. Surprisingly though, that has seen a revitalization, somewhat. So I'm looking forward.
I don't mean to cut you short, man, but I do have to go.
All right, so
quick.
That's a perfect example. So let's wrap this up so that these good people can go, you can go, we can all go on about our lives and me hating Brie Larson. So, Prime, go ahead and plug your channel.
I'm Prime Geek Collectors, prime example of the geek community, and you can find us at Prime Geek Collectors on Facebook, at Prime Geeks on Twitter, PrimeGeekCollectors.com. We are a pop culture news and collectible website.
Nice. You have the shortest plug in the history of plugs.
Well, I'm hoping that people click on the things I tell them to click on, and then they get a better sense of what I am.
Yeah. And you guys know me, but in case you missed it, I am the groundbreaking, earth-shaking, but never taking media shill money and breaking hearts. It is the man, the myth, the legend, the most electrifying YouTuber in YouTube entertainment today, Lee Cole IV. And here on the channel, I will be having some exciting stuff. On the next episode of Let's Talk, I will be having Mecha Random and Mary Mayhem on here. And we will be talking about feminism and its use as a weapon and several different products that that have come out as far as that goes. We are going to be having our Aliens watch party. I probably won't have it next Sunday because of the Easter holiday, so I will push that to the next Sunday. And we're still seeing the panelists for that one, but it will definitely be Chris Knight. It will more than likely be you, sir, because you've been hanging tough. And we'll be watching Alien 3, the least liked out from everyone. And I'm going to try to see who else I can wrangle onto that panel to come and join us. I also have several different reviews coming out. Also, I will be setting up a big Endgame panel. I want to get as many people as I can to talk about Endgame and what the final product is, give our thoughts and views, see who beat Thanos, which hopefully is not Brie Larson, and and kind of get a take on, is the MCU, doing it right? Are we going to see something good, or has Endgame been the last final good product and it's time to jump off the ship? I will be becoming a DC fan. I'm going to be wearing DC support shirts. I'm going to buy Shazam products because I feel like Marvel is going full woke. And I'll also be bringing you news and whatnot. As it appears, I try to make 2 videos a day. So with that being said, thank you everybody for joining the discussion. If you liked tonight's discussion, please smash that melee button. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you know anyone, a grandma, an aunt, a grandpa, a relative of some kind who would like my content, please have them come over to my channel and subscribe. Thank you to everybody that has been on my panels. Thank you for all of my 150 subs. I love all of you guys. And as always, please take care of yourself and each other. I will see you on the next stream.